All right, so I started training martial arts about a year ago now. And I don't even like to say that I've been training for a year, and I'll tell you why. The first 6 or 7 months of my training, probably six or so, were without a coach. I just got into it with one of my friends, and I was just learning something from YouTube videos, from just doing it. And obviously, I was learning bad habits. I was learning to do the wrong things. And the point is, I wasn't even really learning, to be honest. So I don't really like counting those months, even though I will, for the sake of honesty, because I was almost learning more bad habits than good. And then as soon as I got with my current coach, I learned so much more in 4 months, maybe I think 5 or 6 now that I've been with him, than any months that I could have learned without guidance. And I'm not saying that you need a coach to improve, although it will help, and if you can, invest in getting a coach. But the main problem, the main mistake that I made, that this is why I'm making this video, because I don't want you to repeat it, is to not focus on something, on a specific skill every time you train. So picture yourself going into the gym, it's a bright Monday morning or afternoon or night, I don't know when you train, and you go in the gym and you don't have a structure. And chances are that's you right now. You don't really have a structure. You might even lift some weights and then hit the bag for 30 minutes. Now, first of all, what are you achieving when you hit the bag? Are you hitting the bag to practice a certain technique? Are you hitting the bag to get your cardio better? Are you hitting the bag to make your power better? What are you achieving? Or is it just the only thing that you know how to do? Is it something that you think, yeah, I'm just going to go to the gym and what do I see first? Oh yeah, I'm going to hit the bag. You're doing that wrong, because although you think that you're working hard, by the end of the workout, you might be sweating. I'm not saying that you're not physically exerting yourself. You think that you're going 5 days a week. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. I'm training MMA 5 days a week. But what are you doing those 5 days a week? Are you just hitting the bag for 5 days straight? Because you're not going to improve. You're not going to know what distance management is. You're not going to be able to know what a live target is going to do to you, what a live person is going to do to you. You're not going to know any defense because the bag doesn't hit back. And although the bag has certain stuff where you can improve, it also has a lot of cons. So the point is, every time you go to practice, I don't care if you practice once a week or 7 times a week, you need to have a certain goal. Every time you go to the gym, and this is with life, not even with fighting, with life, anytime you're going to put time into getting better at something, you need to know what you're getting better at. Because fighting is such a general topic. If I go to the gym today and I say, I'm going to get better at fighting, well, what inside fighting? Am I going to get better at boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu? And inside of boxing, am I going to get better at jabs, crosses, defense, footwork? For jiu-jitsu, am I going to get better at arm bars? Am I going to get better at passing the guard? Am I going to get better at smashing? You need to know what you're going to get better at. So you need to go in the gym with a goal. And this is the argument of quality over quantity for training. Now, you can think you work hard. You can think you're going to be better than the rest because you're because you're training 6 days a week. Yeah, you're just fucking breaking the pedal off the gas. But in reality, you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to increase your bad habits. Because those 6 days a week, you're just doing random shit. You're hitting the bag for 30 minutes, taking 5-minute breaks, going on your phone, scrolling TikTok, watching some MMA highlights of Conor McGregor doing a 360 tornado kick and trying that on the bag. You're not going to improve by doing that. A way you would improve is, let's say even you only go 4 times a week to go train MMA. Monday, you're going to learn how to keep your hand up while you jab. So you're going to do 500 jabs on the bag, and you're going to put a piece of paper in between your hand and your chin so it doesn't fall down. And you're going to do 500 jabs with good form, and you're going to record yourself. And those 500 jabs, if the paper falls down, you know what you did wrong, so you put it back. Now compare that to, I'm going to go today, and I'm just going to light the bag up. I'm just going to swing for the bleachers, just I'm going to have no technique. I'm not going to record myself to see what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to have no game plan. I'm just going to go there to do cardio. Now listen, If you're a middle-aged mom and you want to just go there to get in shape and have some fun, by all means. But this is for the people that actually want to improve in fighting. And this isn't saying how do I explain this to you? I'm not saying this to critique you. I'm not saying this to critique your training, because your intentions are good, especially if you're going 5, 6, 7 days a week. You're training hard. You already have that discipline. Same thing that I had. The only thing you need is knowing how to structure that discipline and actually use it towards something where you're not wasting your time. And this is such an important concept, because when you look at the pros, they're training hard. Sure, they're training super hard, but they're training hard for a purpose. You'll see them studying the specific details of each takedown, of each punch, of each kick, and they're repping that. And it's not always sexy. I mean, obviously you see the sexy highlights of, Tank hitting the pad super fast, blah, 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 blah. But the majority of it is, especially if you're a beginner, 500 jabs, and you're going to put the paper in so you don't drop this hand. 500 jabs, 500 crosses, and you're going to twist your hips and put your leg down so you can get power. If you want to learn how to hit the heavy bag better, you're going to start moving around more instead of just staying in one spot and hitting it like this, because maybe that'll improve your cardio, but not much else. So you can move around the bag, you can play with certain distances, play with certain feints. If you want to improve your technique, you're going to find a coach, or you can find a friend that knows more than you, and you're going to do some mitt work. Things that are going to make you better. And you need to have certain goals. Like, if you like boxing, right? If you like boxing and you're a longer fighter, so based off of your physique and your frame, you're a longer fighter, you're a distance fighter, even a counter puncher, you could say. What do you need to work on? Do you need to work on hitting the bag 1 foot apart from it and just banging it out in the pocket, dirty boxing? No, I mean, it's okay to know that, but what you want to be working on is knowing how to control the distance. You want to use your long jabs, your long crosses. You want to know head movement. You want to know how to fight against a shorter guy. So you need to work on those things. You need to go to the gym with the mindset, I'm going to improve my jab today. I'm going to improve my step jab. I'm going to improve my flick jab. I'm going to do 500 jabs going to the left, and 500 jabs going to the right. All the specifics of a jab. So when I spar, nobody can get past my jab. I'm hitting jab left and right. Again, when people spar, and this is something everything I'm saying, I'm guilty of. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying this. I'm guilty of, and I'm trying to make sure that you don't have this error. When you spar, go in with a purpose. If we're talking about the long fighter, when I go in the sparring session, I just want to jab. I want to use my jab as much as possible. And if they get in my range, cross. I just want to work on being able to keep them out with my jab, annoy them with my jab, using my footwork to go left, to go right, jab, jab. And if they get in my range, cross. If you're with a short fighter, don't get in a sparring session because of your ego. Try and bang it out here. There's no point, because what you want to improve is your strengths. Also your weaknesses. We'll also talk about that. But you want to improve something specific that's going to help you. Now, with weaknesses, it's great to improve weaknesses. But as a beginner, you can't specialize. What does this mean? A lot of people have the argument that it's better to just be a master at one thing. And yeah, that's true. Like, for example, Wonderboy Thompson. He's a master of karate. He has super good punches, super good kicks, sorry. And he wasn't the best wrestler. Was he a good wrestler? Yeah, obviously for the average person, super good. But in UFC terms, he wasn't the best wrestler. And that was like his weak point, right? He was still an amazing fighter. He still is an amazing fighter. And then you have somebody like Khabib, who a lot of people know him for his wrestling. But nobody realized that he was a super good fucking striker too. Like, maybe he was unorthodox, maybe he didn't have the best technique, but he was efficient. If you check his stats, he was sure as fuck efficient. And those are people that were specialists. Khabib was a specialist in wrestling. Wonderboy Thompson was a specialist in karate and kicking, right? But they all started off when they started fighting, and I know most of the people watching me tend to be beginners, or maybe 1 year, 2 years in. You need to get good at everything first to then see what you're going to specialize in. Because you can't say, okay, I'm a specialist if you're boxing. I'm a specialist on my jab. Okay, you're a specialist on your jab. If somebody comes in and wants to fight you in the pocket, does that mean you just can't do anything anymore? No, you need to be able to know how to fight in the pocket. So you need to learn the basics, the fundamentals, everything like counter punching, attacking, closing distance, getting away from distance. And then once you've been doing that for 4 years or so, then you can say, okay, I want to focus my game on counterpunching. I want to focus my game on being a pressure fighter. I want to focus my game on brawling like Terrence Crawford. But first, you need to have the fundamentals. And for that, you need to go in the gym every single fucking day with a purpose, with a goal that you're going to rep it out, rep it out, rep it out until you get it. Not just with some random initiative that you got motivation to work out that day. That's the end of my rant. I hope this helps you, bro. And yeah, see you. By the way, let me know in the comments if you like more of this unedited version. I sure do. I can focus more time on actually giving value and being the real me instead of editing it. I don't really like the idea of editing things because I don't want my audience to be a bunch of people who have no attention span. So yeah, let me know.